According to its president, Frank Martino, the International Chemical Workers Union became suspicious of the herbicide, Oryzalin, when workers in upstate New York began connecting birth defects.
During the 1.5 years of production of Oryzalin at their plant in Rensselaer, New York, there were no known normal pregnancies and several cases of heart defects. Only one child is still living. He has undergone approximately $300,000 of surgery.
The father of the child that lived is Nick Crudo of Rensselaer, New York.
We almost lost him in Buffalo, last major surgery. He bled for 6 weeks continuously. So far there's been 3 birth defects. 2 of the boys are dead. My son's the only one left alive. I came in contact with Oryzalin numerous ways. It was an open system for handling. My uniform came home to be washed. There's a chance my wife could have been exposed, through my uniform.
You
try to beat me up. Well, the effect on families, their lives, devastated.
I just want to make sure that nobody has to go through what Nick and Doug has gone through, and myself. It's just pure hell. That's the only way I can describe it. To have to see your child suffer, and there isn't a damn thing you can really do.
And nobody seemed to care. Nobody seemed to come and say, we're sorry, until the men got together and decided that they were going to care about themselves. And this is when they started to look into it.
And the investigation was just word of mouth, man to man, until we realized we were getting into something so big that we had to call for outside help.
The Environmental Protection Agency and the Labor Department are both investigating at the union's request.
OSHA has not been able to determine whether Oryzalin or some other chemical or combination of chemicals is the cause of the birth defects in these children. However, this tragedy makes clear the need for thorough testing of chemicals.
Mr. and Mrs. Crudo, the National Institute for Occupational and Safety Health is, as you're probably aware by now, involved in an evaluation of the workers at the plant, those that have worked there in the past and present, and try to put this all together in a big picture and try to determine whether or not it is the compound Oryzalin or perhaps other compounds, because as you well know, having worked there for 8 years now, Nick, there are a lot of compounds, a lot of chemistry that goes on.
Can I move my truck?
Was he...
A company spokesman for the holder of the trademark on the herbicide insists there is no pattern of birth defects in plants that manufacture Oryzalin. It simply is a coincidence of circumstance, their man said.
They've been calling this multiple coincidences, which is, just a joke.
It's easy for them to say because it wasn't their child, and it's not their children. I'm sure if one of their children and their families were involved in this, this would have been investigated and something would have been done about it.
If it is a game of multiple coincidences, somebody was playing with loaded dice. These kids didn't have a chance.
The herbicide is no longer manufactured in upstate New York. Production has moved on to Muskegon, Michigan, among other places where an estimated 1/4 of the workforce comes in contact with it at the facility.
I think they personally found out what was happening, and they just, kept moving it. Because supposedly this product is moved across the nation like wildfire. They make it in one plant for a year and a half, 2 years, and then they go to another plant and make it. Before Oryzalin came in, there was nothing like this in this plant. And after Oryzalin left, there was nothing like this. It was just there and that. Nearly 2 years that we made Oryzalin, that all these defects started showing up. And we decided we're going to do something about it, and we're going to continue until we either have this product stopped or they change the way it's made.